Greetings and thanks once again for joining me here for one of Electric Avenue's YouTube updates. I'm going to do a few more RSD things here while I got a little time. Record Store Day 2025. And I have more stuff to show you. There's going to be more later this week, but I figure get a jump on some things here and show you what I've got coming, what you're going to be ready for this Saturday, April 12th, 2025, 8 a.m. Set your alarms. All right, so a few things that I wanted to show. Just gonna get down to it. This is a new release free video. It's all Record Store Day stuff, so get ready. All right, the Struts, Rock and Roll Fantasy. This is a 7-inch single. It's got that song, a cover version of the Bad Company song, and then an instrumental on the B-side. There's that. Charlie XCX with Billie Eilish, Guess. This is the cool 7-inch version, sort of the remix version that came from Charlie's Brat record, Atlantic Records. These were quite heavily allocated. I ordered several of these and they only are sending a few. So if you don't get that, I'm sorry. Ben Vaughn combo and a 7-inch here. My first band with Vibrato in the Grotto on the B side, and this is classic Ben Vaughn stuff. Scott Weiland, I Know It's Too Late. Again, this is another one I ordered several of, and they only sent a couple. It's got the B side, Missing Cleveland, live at the Fonda Theater. So Scott Weiland, 7-inch. The Fruit Bats, As I Rise. This is a collaborative 7-inch with Anais Mitchell. Cover of the Decemberists. And these also were sort of allocated. I did get a few of them, but not a lot. One that was heavily allocated, the new Panda Bear. This one is Venom's In. From the album, this is a demo version featuring Cass McCombs. This album, the Panda Bear record, has been flying off the shelves and I haven't been able to get it back in. They ran out of them, so I think they're making more. And I have a feeling the 45 is going to be the same way because they're very limited. Let's see. This is When We Die, Can We Still Get High? Featuring Lil Yachty and acoustic. I'm trying to remember the artist on this. It's not even listed on the front. Okay, hold on. Youngblood. At least Youngblood related. De La Soul. Bigger Respect, another 7-inch. Oh, this is a double 7-inch. Bigger, Rock Cocaine Flow, Respect, and The Future. So it's a two 7-inch set. Omar, Apollo, and Temaldigo. 7-inch there, and that was from Queer Cobalt 7-inch vinyl. I'm not sure if that's the one that, that's the one that Trent Reznor is involved in. I didn't get many of those. And one that we will have, not a massive amount, but a fair amount of these, Taylor Swift's Fortnite, featuring none other than Post Malone, this Record Store Day's ambassador. I'm hoping his record shows up soon. So there's some of that. All right, so you got your Taylor, Swifties. Okay, moving on to some other things here. Gonna have to get some room here. There's a lot of stuff. So, all right, Grateful Dead and a box set here. Grateful Dead, this is a complete show from 6/14/76. And this is live in New York at the Beacon Theater. What a nice, I mean, they do such nice packages with these. And there's the track listing on the back. Ends with a whole side of U.S. Blues. Let's see, Mama Tried, Brown Eyed Woman, Tennessee Jed. Playing in the Band is a whole side. Let's see, Cosmic Charlie. Newly remastered by Jeffrey Norman from the original analog tapes. David Lemieux involved there. All right. Let's see here. While I'm doing the Grateful Dead, there goes the phone. Too bad. Jerry Garcia Band, Don't Let Go. This is another sort of big set here. Live, Orpheum Theater, San Francisco, May 21, 1976. This is the complete show, first time pressed to vinyl, limited edition of 4,000. A performance so good it'll leave you grinning from ear to ear, is what the sticker says. So, yeah. Donna Jean's in it, Keith Godchow, John Kahn, and Ron Tutt. Sugary ends with Lonesome and a Long Way from Home, and My Sisters and Brothers. That is, I say 4 LPs? Yeah. Okay. I didn't say how many LPs was in the Grateful Dead one here, did I? That is a 6 LP set for that one. So, all right. As long as I'm doing box setty things here. Joni Mitchell and Joni Mitchell Live, 1976 U.S. tour with the LA Express. Recently unearthed recordings from her landmark tour together on vinyl for the first time. Remastered by Bernie Grundman. She does Free Man in Paris, Travelin', Hajira, The Jungle Line, limited edition of 6,500. This has to be amazing, folks. If you're into Joni Mitchell, I can't stress enough. I mean, I just love her sort of mid-jazz period here. Edith and the Kingpin, Raised on Robbery. Oh my gosh, Big Yellow Taxi's on here. For the Roses, Help Me. Help Me is the first song. I mean, does it get much better than that? I don't know. Can you tell I'm a fan? Another great artist, Warren Zevon, and this is Piano Fighter. This is a limited edition 4 LP. I didn't say the Joni. I think that's, how many LPs is that? 3. Warren's 4. This is featuring his 3 Giant albums, Giant Records. Mr. Bad Example, the first North American vinyl run. That's crazy. Learning to Flinch, first time on vinyl, and Mutineer, first time on vinyl. All mastered directly from analog tapes by Bernie Grundman. If you're a Warren Zevon fan, you're going to need these. That's, I mean, obviously you've never gotten them before. So we didn't get a lot of them, but we got a few. It's under $100, but yeah, 3 albums there. War, Why Can't We Be Friends, 50th Anniversary Edition box set of this. What a great set this is going to be. This also features a very long version of Lowrider. I'm going to say 10 minutes. Yep. So it's bonus tracks and alternate versions and the original album remastered. And what they did, World is a Ghetto, last year, I think. And this is pretty well priced, I suppose, but 2 LPs, I mean, for this sort of box thing. 4 album session bonus cuts, original unedited mixes of Lowrider, So Don't Let No One Get You Down, and Why Can't We Be Friends, which, that was a big hit too. Big album for them. Let's see, John Lee Hooker and the Charcot Sessions, Charco. This is available for the first time as a complete triple LP set, the intimate one night only Paris recordings from Studio Charcot. This is blues at its most authentic, raw, and rambling. Travel back to 1969 and enjoy the rare cuts from the King of Boogie on transparent color vinyl. I didn't get a lot of these because they were allocated. This is like sad, but it happens. It's not super cheap either, but what is these days, folks? What is? I mean, I just hope that we get enough support because, things going on in the news, it can be very, unsettling, and there are so many great records coming out. You'd be better off buying the records instead of going to spend so much money on concert tickets at this point, is my feeling. Rage Against the Machine and unreleased, unmixed, live, raw, aggressive performances of their first world tour, 3 sides of music and an etching, live on tour, 1993. This is Rage at their finest and their fiercest when they first came out. There's a Wake Up from Philadelphia, which is awesome. Bomb Track from Washington, D.C. Let's see. Freedom from Chicago. Anyway. Potent, powerful stuff. So, All right. David Gilmour and his daughter Romany. And this is their song Between 2 Points. This is the 12-inch crystal clear edition. And it's live from the Royal Albert Hall Gentry remix edit, and album version. The song itself is like 7 minutes long almost, so it's a nice David Gilmour addition to his recent album, which was really fantastic. All right, Marcus King and his live from the Bluebird Cafe, high fidelity recording from August of 2024 in Nashville. That's a good 2 LP set. It is not cheap. I don't know why it's as much as it is. Acoustic arrangements of his hits, live from one of the most legendary venues in the country. You'll have to ask Marcus or his label why they want so much for that. Maybe they're going on British or Canadian money. I don't know. Sex Witch. This is Natasha Khan, who is Bat for Lashes, and her 10th anniversary edition of her album exclusive to Record Store Day, featuring 12-page booklet with unseen imagery. It's kind of dark and gothy, but she, I can't remember who she worked with on this, someone sort of famous. But it's, she sings this, I believe, she's from, or her family was Iranian, Persian, or something like that. So, or Pakistan. I'm getting the two mixed up. Something from that part of the world. And she is actually singing in that language, apparently, on most of that. Let's see. The Wrecking Crew and Makaha. This is like the most famous band you don't know from the 60s. They played on everything from Pet Sounds to every Glenn Campbell record to many, many, many others. Monday, Mamas and the Papas. So this is all new recordings of these top 10 hits of the 60s, plus new surf instrumentals with original Beach Boy David Marks. And Hal Blaine is on this. So very famous drummer. And yeah. The Wrecking Crew, that's awesome. Love the Wrecking Crew. Love their music. And they do, I mean, there are so many records that you wouldn't even know are Wrecking Crew records because they all are so varied. Yes, live at the Rainbow, London, England, 12/16/72. Every Yes live record that comes out, it seems, sells a ton for us when these Record Store Day things come out. So we did get a fair amount of these. Live performances from the legendary Close to the Edge tour. Limited edition triple LP set with side F being an etching. But it does have, I've seen All Good People, and You and I, Close to the Edge, 17 minutes of that. Roundabout, Starship Trooper, 10 minutes of that. Starts with Siberian Kachru. So, yeah. Very cool. Another live Yes record. Honestly, they're like the Grateful Dead. Can there be enough of them? Rolling Stones, Out of Our Heads. This is an exclusive clear vinyl edition mastered from analog monotapes directly. Includes a lithograph of original tape box notes. And so this is the Rolling Stones offering this time. Every time they put something out. But they're always different. I'm running out of room here. I knew this was going to happen. I'd be running out of room. Neil Finn sessions at West 54th. He's the lead singer of Crowded House and also Split Enz. He was in that band. Classic intimate live performance from 1999. First time on vinyl. Features songs from his entire solo work and career with Crowded House and Split Enz. So it does have him singing Don't Dream It's Over live. Fall at Your Feet, Faster Than Light, She Will Have Her Way, I Got You, and David Byrne does the intro, so, which is cool. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. I got a lot of requests on this, and I hate to say it, folks, but this got major allocated. So I think I ended up with like maybe 4 or 5 of them, and probably ordered like 20 at least. So, but they're not cheap either. These run $100. Why is this so big of a deal? It's the Zoetrope edition, right? So the records are pressed on these kind of, well, I wouldn't call them audiophile, but they're cool to look at, pressings. And if people are Harrison collectors, they might want this. But there's also the single that he has out with Beck, the 12-inch of that I think I showed in the last video. So anyway, you're gonna have to get here super early if you want that, I'm afraid. So I mean, hopefully other stores have it, but you never know. All right, let's see. Collective Souls Blender, and this is their third album, I think. 25th anniversary limited edition, energetic hook-filled classic from alt-rock icons, featuring the smash hit Why Part 2 and fan favorites After All and Perfect Day featuring Elton John on transparent cobalt vinyl. So a nice see-through dark blue. Morphine, bootleg Detroit, Mark Sandman and company. Their last record sold really well at the last Black Friday. That was their B-Sides collection. This is recorded live from St. Andrews Hall, Detroit, March 7th, 1994. And looks like 18 tracks. So some of them are shorter than others, but very tragic story about Mark. Band featured heavily saxophone player. That's kind of the sort of thing that you would know from their sound. But he passed away on stage during a concert, had a heart attack. So very tragic. Not even 50 years old at the time. This mid 40s. Leon LaHavis, and a really great album. This was her debut, called Is Your Love Big Enough? And this is limited edition pink and blue Galaxy marble vinyl. She's soulful, but she's also kind of folky in a way. Like, it's a mix of things. She does have Willie Mason on this album on one song, but kind of like if Sade was a little less R&B, I suppose, but and a little more sort of alternative rock or something. But she's very good. This record, I'm so excited to see this. The Grays, Rochambeau. They need to put more things like this out again. This is an album that by a sort of a, well, they became sort of a super group afterwards because all of these guys ended up, or some of them ended up being a big deal. But John Bryan, who ended up being a big time producer for everyone from Fiona Apple to Mac Miller to Amy Mann, and a big movie soundtrack guy too. Jason Faulkner, who did a lot of stuff with his band. The name is escaping me right now, but also did a lot of solo records too. Buddy Judge, who plays a lot with Amy Mann and is a collaborator, and Dan McCarroll. They're the Grays. This is the 1994 power pop cult classic on vinyl for the first time. I remember when this CD came out. We had a lot of it in our store. It sold fairly okay because it was sort of a regional hit, but it wasn't big enough for them to stick together, and they all kind of splintered. And I mean, I think they're mostly still friends, but it just they just went separate ways. So all right, Judas Priest, and this 2 LP red edition, first time on vinyl, live in Atlanta '82. If this doesn't set your stereo on fire, I don't know what will. This is so got one of their biggest eras on the Vengeance tour at the Omni. Features Breaking the Law, You've Got Another Thing Coming, Screaming for Vengeance, Hellbent for Leather, their cover of the Green Monalishi, also the Hellion, Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind. Those are the first songs. Heading Out to the Highway, Metal Gods. I mean, come on. I did get a lot of this because I figured fans are going to want that even after Record Store Day. So, Remy Wolf, and this is her sort of, I think it's like an early 2 EPs that they put together on an album. You're a Dog and I'm Allergic to Dogs. And if people are into Remy Wolf and you know who you are, you're going to be excited about this. She's quite a young talent on the scene that's really bursting out. So excited about that. The Ramones and Loco Live. It's a live record from the Ramones, live in Spain, 1991, U.S. version of their second live album on vinyl for the first time. 2 LP set on blue and red vinyl. This was allocated. I could say that about most of these things, where I ordered a fair amount and then got like half or less. So it was rough. The allocations were rough this time. Top Secret, Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. We ordered this before he passed away, so would I have liked to have had more of them? Probably, but we'll see. Maybe they'll have more available. But the first side of this is Val Kilmer singing stuff from the movie. It's kind of a campy, like cheesy movie, but fun, 80s. And then the second side are the Maurice Jarre soundtrack. So, but he does songs like Skeet Surfing, Are You Lonesome Tonight? I mean, it's sort of pandering to 80s kids, but it was a fun movie. So, and it kind of broke him as a actor to kind of pay attention to. So it's just so tragic. And then we just lost Clem Burke as I'm filming this today, the drummer from Blondie. That guy was so incredible. Did he pummel those drums like anybody else? I mean, I know there are a lot of drummers that are probably more like into the like rhythmic structures and how you subdivide the beats and how many go in this measure, that measure. But the power and the tone that he got out of his drum kits, you hear a Clem Burke record, anyone he played, whether it was the Eurythmics or whoever, Blondie obviously, but anyone he was playing with, you kind of knew it was Clem. So that's very sad. Another legend. All right. Sorry, I digress. Belly's King. Belly, great album, and artist Tanya Donnelly, who'd been in Throwing Muses and then The Breeders, and broke off and formed Belly. The first album, A Star, was a really big hit, and this was the sophomore record, King. They're going out on tour for this too. 30th anniversary edition, green vinyl. Let's see, and it features Now They'll Sleep was the single, Seal My Fate, and Super Connected. So if you're into 90s alt rock from 4AD, the Cocteau Twins label, and the Pixies label. Let's see, some jazz. Wynton Montgomery and Wes Montgomery and Wynton Kelly trio, Smokin' in Seattle live at the Penthouse. This is an unearthed jazz classic, 1966 limited edition second pressing, mastered by Matt Lutens at the Mastering Lab. He works with Kevin Gray a lot at Coherent Audio. But anyway, this is a cool release. And both of these artists, Wes and Wynton, they sell a lot still. So it's good to see that. Mingus, and this is another one. This is on Resonance Records. I think this is on Resonance as well. Yeah, they're both on Resonance. This is Charles Mingus, Ricky Ford, Joe Walrath, Robert Nolomes, I don't know who that is, and he's on piano, and Danny Richmond on drums. This is kind of a big set from Mingus here in Argentina, the Buenos Aires concerts. Previously unissued Charles Mingus 70s live recording with stellar band, featuring his powerful 70s band, recorded at the Teatro Coliseo. And yeah, there will be a CD available of that later as well. Not cheap because it's 3 records and Resonance isn't cheap as a label. All right, let me grab a few more of these over here, guys. It's best if I break these up into like sections because otherwise it's too much. Nick Lowe, and this is Not Indoor Safari Volume 1, Nick Lowe and Low Straight Jackets, limited edition. And these are, I guess these are live recordings, yeah. Nick Lowe, he's still got a major following and great power pop artist. Thin Lizzy, and this is Jailbreak, the alternate version. Their classic album, Like You've Never Heard It Before, featuring alternate versions of classic tracks, limited edition. This was actually brought over from recordstoreday.uk. I've noticed that a lot of people are like sending me requests saying, are you getting Adam and the Ants? Or are you getting, and a lot of those are only exclusive to recordstoreday.uk. So in some cases, after the fact, we might get some of those things, but most of them are just going to be available in England. So I know. And they get more and more expensive these days. Sweet. The Sweet and Desolation Boulevard live and demos, 50th anniversary, Never released live recordings and demos from the original release, Sunset Yellow vinyl, limited edition of 2200. I don't know how they picked that number, but 2200. Joywave, and this is his 10th anniversary classic, or their How Do You Feel Now, featuring bonus track Life in a Bubble and Blow. And this is on blue and yellow 2 LP pressing. So Joywave, sort of popular emo. Thievery Corporation, and this is the Cosmic Game, limited edition 2 LP red vinyl. Thievery Corporation, always sort of highly regarded. We didn't get many of these. These were also allocated, which was a bummer because I'm like, oh gosh, popular. But usually Thievery Corporation, they'll make more of them after the fact. So within like another 6 months or so, we'll probably see more of that record, hopefully. Knock on wood. Mingus again at Monterey, and this is legendary 1964 performance, out of print for decades, pressed on 180 gram vinyl, remastered by multi-Grammy winner Michael Graves, authorized and restored by Jazz Workshop. It's another one that I got cut on. It just happens. Like, frustrating. We have no control over how many we really get. We can order all we want, but they send us what they want to send us. They don't send us more than what we ask for, but they tend to send a lot less. This is Black Samson, the Bastard Swordsman. This is a Wu-Tang Clan sort of a project here, and they're saying it's the last Wu-Tang record that's going to happen. This features Method Man, the RZA, Capadonna, Inspector Deck, Ghostface Killah, Raekwon, the Jizza, You God, Masta Killa, Cool G Rap, Nicole Bus, Cameron Corvée, Crooked Eye, 38 Spesh, Willie the Kid, Benny the Butcher, Corrupt, Ralph McDaniels, and RJ Payne, with additional production by the RZA. Does not feature ODB, obviously, since he's passed away. But wow, what a project here. And it's not cheap. The artwork is super cool, and there's apparently a lot more inside as far as like the packaging here. So anyway, Wu-Tang, they don't come cheap, especially when you got all of those people on it. So Sly and the Family Stone, cool record here. The First Family, Where It All Began, black, white, male, female, rock, soul. They were a true chimera. Okay. Deluxe RSD edition with gatefold sleeve, lavish 24-page booklet with 15,000-word essay by Grammy-nominated archivist Alec Palau. I'll get that right. Pressed on clear wax from lacquer cut by Kevin Gray. Oh, man. Sly and the Family Stone live. Again, allocated. Oy. Virgin Suicides, the soundtrack. And this has been out before, but usually it's like the Air soundtrack. They did the movie sort of score, and they're on this, but this is a lot of the rock songs that were licensed that I don't know if I've seen this before. This features Gilbert O'Sullivan's Alone Again, Naturally, 10cc's I'm Not in Love, Heart's Magic Man, Todd Rundgren's Hello, It's Me, Sloan is on here, Air of the Hollies, Al Green. So Gilbert O'Sullivan, I said. So it's kind of a cool like 70s compilation of like rock, FM rock type stuff. Peter Gabriel's Ovo, and this is an interesting record. It's not technically a Peter record in the sense that he is not singing most of this. He's only singing, I believe, one song, two songs by himself, one with other people, and then there's all these other collaborators. This was done for the Millennium Dome project in England back in the turn of the century. And it did feature other collaborations from Liz Fraser of Cocteau Twins, Alison Goldfrapp of Goldfrapp, Richie Havens is singing on this, Paul Buchanan from the Blue Nile. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody, but they all kind of pitch in and have like their own verses to songs. The last side is the song Make Tomorrow, which is probably the reason to buy this record more than anything other than Father Son, which is the solo Peter Gabriel piano-ish horn ballad on here. A lot of flugelhorns, trumpets, French horns, etc. Pretty song. The rest of it's pretty ambient kind of stuff. So, and it's very soundtracky, but it's good if you like Peter Gabriel. It's sort of that era of what am I trying to say? The era of the Up album. Let's see. Gray Boy, we've got Gray Boy here with Harold Todd and Mark Antoine freestyling. So there's that to look forward to. Mel Brooks, High Anxiety, soundtrack for that. This is on red and yellow vinyl. So Mel Brooks fans, get out there and get that. Joey Valance and Bray, Good Songs by JBV. So I'm just going to whip through these last ones here before this gets too long. James Blunt and Back to Bedlam, the demos. All right. Chevelle, Point One. And this is lemonade and olive color and vinyl. I should have said the James Blunt is actually cherry colored, and it also features demo versions of songs like You're Beautiful, which was a huge hit. Chevelle was sort of a pop rock, indie rock hit. Gloria Jones, Vixen. She was the wife of Mark Bolan of T-Rex, who unfortunately was at the wheel when he died, and she survived. But this is a really cool record, sort of like soul, but also glammy. And she does a cover of, she does a version of the song Tainted Love on here before Soft Cell took it and did it. Freddie Hubbard, On Fire. This is another Resonance big Zev Feldman set. Freddie Hubbard, Bernie Maupin, Kenny Barron, Herbie Lewis, and Freddie Watts. This is a 3 LP set. Bernie Grunman did the mastering. Live from the Blue Morocco, 1967. All right. Hey, Elton John live. There's nothing better than Elton John live solo, pretty much, with Ray Cooper. Live from the Rainbow Theater. This is available on the first time on vinyl, featuring unreleased live recordings of Sweet Painted Lady, Idol, and Dan Dare. This is a 180-gram black vinyl record store day exclusive. Features also like Border Song, Where To Now, St. Peter, Tonight. Anyway, I mean, the other one that they did, the Live from Moscow, was just absolutely stunning. So, Super Bad by the OJs. This is early OJs stuff. So if you're in Philly and you want your Philly sound, I mean, this is awesome too. This is early. Now He's Home, Little Brother, Crossroads of Life, Shattered Man. Very kind of like civil rights era, but what a picture. Just for the artwork alone, that's amazing. All right. Getting to the end of this edition, folks. Tori Amos and Diving Deeper Live. This is an EP. She recently put out a live record, and this is just 4 songs that didn't make that were on the CD. Here in My Head, Crazy, Sister Janet, and Mother Revolution are on that. That was allocated. Aha! And their new demos collection, Hunting High and Low, the demos. So these are the working versions of Take On Me, Sun Always Shines on TV, Hunting High and Low on crystal clear vinyl. It's the whole album in demo form. I think it's been out on CD before, so they just decided to put it on vinyl. Keith Richards live. This is from 2022, a live EP. It's got 3 songs, 999, You Got the Silver, and Before They Make Me Run. So Keith's still cranking out the blues. Cypress Hill, live at the Fillmore. This includes smokin' live versions of Rock Superstar, Insane in the Brain, and more. 100% homegrown. It's a 2 LP set. So hip hop people get excited about that. That's a cool record. Bobby Charles and Bearsville Studio Sessions. And this is a new collection of rarities from 72 to 74. He's a member of the band, Dr. John, David Sanborn, and Ben Keith. And so sort of unreleased stuff, rarities. And the last thing here to show you today, Dolores O'Riordan, No Baggage. This is her second solo album released for the first time on transparent violet vinyl. Singer for the Cranberries, another very tragic story. So I say that every time I show a Dolores O'Riordan. Anyway, don't let the bad stuff get you down. Everybody have a great day. I'll be doing more of these videos, so as I get time, and it's going to be kind of a crazy week, so we'll squeeze them in where we can. Thank you so much for watching again. I really appreciate it. Please come out and support us or support any indie record store that you can on Saturday, because we've already made the big financial layout for this stuff. And in some cases, it can be thousands and thousands of dollars. And to not be able to sell it, or at least make the money that you've invested in it, would be horrifying. And I don't know if the stores would survive if that happened, quite honestly. So please support your indie record stores. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. And be safe when you go out and get in that line. Okay? And stay well until then. Make sure you have a plan. Some people are like, do I need to bring a chair? I'm like, well, it couldn't hurt if you're coming 3-4 hours earlier, you know, better than sitting on the concrete. So, but luckily we have a covered sidewalk. So if you're here within the first 3-4 hours, you're going to be okay. It's the people who come, well, within the hour before that might be sort of uncovered depending on where they are. But there are covered sidewalks in this shopping center, so that's nice. All right. Thank you again. Peace.